go.
When you're looking for some old-fashioned Western gunfights and duels, I'm sure the first game that comes to mind is Contractors VR.
This town ain't big enough for the two of us.
Yeah, seriously. The game, often called Call of Duty in VR, actually has impressive mods that capture the spirit of the West in VR multiplayer gameplay.
Oh, I got you with my knife.
And it brings out the inner cowboy,
Yep, that's right.
or the inner outlaw, in all of us too.
Wait! What kind of frontier justice is that?
It makes it all the more surprising with the books, films, and TV shows about the Old West that there's such a small list of best Western video games out there. So for a few options more, maybe we can add this to that list, because the realism can be unforgiving at times.
It's so humbling to like come from like the modern age and then like you're reloading it like back in the old-fashioned way.
But it's also pretty rewarding watching your gun handling grow from a carefree cowboy like Roy O'Bannon.
Wow, I am not proud of myself.
To a feeling of being a famous gunslinger like Wyatt Earp or Doc Holliday.
I'm your Huckleberry. It's just like someone walked over your grave.
I've always been captivated by the rugged stories of the American Western. When it comes to genres, movies and TV shows often depict a wild and conflicted frontier, a place where indigenous people, settlers, lawmen, and outlaws navigate a land of wide open opportunity. Or maybe it's the history behind it, where fact and fiction easily blur together into the stuff of myths and legends.
I got it. Wow.
You know what they say, when the legend becomes fact, print the legend. So, that's probably where my head was when I jumped into this Wild West gameplay without any instruction manual.
It's a learning process.
We always hear people talk about how things were so much simpler way back when. But when it comes to Western gunfights in Contractors VR, it couldn't be further from the truth. It's freaking hard.
Wait, where'd it go? I lost my jamming rod, so I can't put the shell inside of it. This is how growing up used to be. You either figured out how to load your guns or you died.
Think of those days in either Red Dead Redemption, the best Western games of all time. With a simple button press, you'd reload your weapon, and in a couple seconds, you're back in the fight.
You figured out how to load up there? Oh, darn. Got a little cocky.
But back in this VR game, and what I imagine in the real West,
Oh,
you can't help but call for a timeout after you've unloaded your 6-shooter.
I need someone to cover me for like 30 seconds while I reload my rifle. Here we go.
Holding these revolvers in your hands, it makes me think these Contractors mod makers are historians by day and gamers by night.
Jesse James, that guy, shot him in the back.
The detail and realism is incredible. The arsenal is vast with era-specific firearms, featuring muskets and trapdoor rifles, single-action pistols, and even some good old-fashioned dynamite.
Oh, cool. You can even see the fuse go down. Gotta get rid of it.
It definitely takes some getting used to if you frequently play World War II or Modern Warfare era games we're bombarded with all the time these days.
I'll watch. You load. I'll cover you.
On this dusty open range, it definitely makes for some refreshing VR multiplayer gameplay.
Oh, God.
Thanks for watching. And up next, more about Contractors VR and games just like it.